lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am super excited because guess what? We have with me today my cousin, Lucretia Black. How are you, Lucretia?
I am well this morning. How are you?
Oh, I am so happy to have you here on the show. You know, it's interesting when you're growing up and you see each other in your younger years, and it's like, hey, girl, we hanging out and all of that. But it's a big difference when you become a whole adult and you're out
Yes,
here doing some great things in life like you're doing. So I'm so honored to have you on today.
I am honored to be on your show as well. Like you said, growing up together and seeing you do so well with your talk show and just a godly woman that you are. You've always been that favorite cousin, one of my favorite cousins, and so we had some great times growing up. So
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And then just seeing you as a mom, a wife, and all of these
Mhm.
hats, it's like it actually is mind-boggling because sometimes when we go back to our younger years, and anybody in the studio audience, you could probably attest to this as well. You kind of see
Yes,
the person still back when they were younger. So you're like, what is happening? These people have whole families and life is
yes.
moving forward, but you still always remember those, good times that you had back in the day.
Yes, yep.
Anybody in the studio audience you can relate, hopefully, then put it in the comment section. Seeing your cousins from back then to now and how that makes you feel, even just balancing that aspect of our lives. Because when we're talking about how people balance and manage life, when we grow up, things change. You
Yes,
now
it
your
is.
focus and you shift over to your family now because you got to focus
Right.
on your family. But yet that
Exactly.
doesn't mean that you don't love your extended family, you know?
Exactly. Yes.
So still trying to figure out how to manage and merge all of the relationships that do matter to you is something we probably should all talk about one day too. We could do that on a Freestyle Friday, y'all.
All right. Yes, we could do that.
But today we're talking with Lucretia Black, and I'm going to formally introduce my cousin so y'all understand who you listening to today. Lucretia Robinson Black from Emporia, Virginia, is where she is now. Y'all tell me if y'all know where Emporia is in the comment section. Emporia, Virginia, the daughter of Judith Perkins Epps. She has three brothers, extended sisters, and brothers, and she was raised in a single family home until her mother married Robert K. Epps Sr., and he is my dad, she said. I have been an educator for 24 years. Debbie Davis and Joy Patton gave me the opportunity to start my teaching career at Weber Baptist Community School, November 2000, as a teacher assistant. And following that, she had her own kindergarten class. I'm gonna let her tell y'all her whole story. But anyway, I am super happy. I see you, Juliet, Pastor Juliet Pender McBride. I see you, my Aunt Jenny Davis out there at Emporia. I see all of you all coming in. Make sure you share the broadcast. And I see all of you that are tuning in. We'll be acknowledging you throughout the broadcast. Welcome, Lucretia, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me today.
I don't want to say I'm biased. I didn't probably say it a lot more than I normally say when people come on and they like, she introduced me like that.
Yes.
Today we're going to be talking about the importance of tutoring and how that even became a passion for you specifically, Lucretia. So take us back and tell us how education became so important to you in your journey.
Well, I can go back as far as being in school. I had some great educators, but also was educated at home with my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather. my aunts, cousins, everyone was an integral part in my upbringing with education. So I just didn't learn in the school setting. I was at home as well. But when I went to kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher, Miss Owens, my first grade teacher, Miss Gardner, my second grade teacher, Miss Hinton, my third grade teacher, um,
You still
and
remember these names? I mean, you rattling them off like they just like your besties. This is awesome. Go ahead.
my fifth grade teacher was Miss Cooper. She
Wow.
really helped me with just my self esteem because my self esteem was a little low when I was in elementary up until that that fifth grade year.
Okay.
But she told me, she was like, Lucretia, you're smart. She's you can do anything you put your mind to, and that continued on when I went to Belfield and I had Miss Jackson. I can't remember the lady I had for English, but she was beautiful white lady, and she had
Wow.
big, beautiful hair. She was my English teacher. She taught me a lot how to write. And when I got to middle school, high school,
Wow.
I had a great math teacher, the late Reverend Frederick Douglass O'Neill Black Sr., and he brought math, just made it fun, made it so that I could understand it.
Right.
He
Broke it down for you.
broke it down and related it to the world, to your life. It was just made easier for me. And then my 11th grade year and 12th grade year. 11th grade year, Miss Juckins, she was my English teacher. She wrote up my paper. They loved the red ink pen, and so she loved the red ink pen. But I went to college and I was able to send my essays back to her, and she would go over them. She would correct them, send it back to me. Lucretia, do this.
Oh my gosh.
So I just had a lot of educators that that were so important in my life
Wow.
that I wanted to continue to share that. And
That's incredible. Let me ask you, because as you're talking, it just brings out so many different memories of teachers that impacted my life as well, and people that referred me to things that changed the trajectory of my life. And it was
right,
all because they're a teacher that saw something in me that I didn't even know per se existed. And like you said, extended family members and friends of your parents and people that just pour into you and believe
right,
in you, and it all makes a difference. So I thought about one lady, Miss Cynthia King. She referred me to be a debutante, and I hadn't even heard of what a debutante was when I was in high school, growing up in the projects, and had this opportunity to be in this all white gown. Had my escort, who was my boyfriend at the time, and we were like presented to the community. It was like a coming out celebration of beauty and elegance and poise, stuff that prepared me to become kind of who I am today, all because a teacher saw something at me in a very young age. So, how
yeah.
important is it to have educators that you can name now in whatever age you are now, from way back in kindergarten, to pour into children today?
It is so important because you're with those kids more than they are with their parents. So you should be that parent for them. Just you would treat that child just like they were yours. So it's very important that our our youth have that kind of teacher.
Yes, I'm glad. I'm so glad you're saying this, because there are teachers that I can name that have poured into my children because they've
Hmm.
had access to them, like you say, longer during the day, and they're communicating with me, and I'm saying, okay, well, what about this? School
Hmm.
nurses and
Yeah.
people that, like one time, my daughter, she went to school, she was fine, perfectly
Right.
fine, and
Hmm.
midday, the school nurse, her name is Nurse Dallas, and she actually, oh, I should tag her. I'm trying to think of these people that I just want to give shout outs to. I don't know if I can, I don't even know if I have their Facebooks, but anyway, Nurse Dallas is her name. And this woman reached out to me, just a regular school nurse. I don't know her like that, but she reached out to me and said, I was checking Jayla's lungs, and
Hmm.
I think that you need to urgently come and get her and take her to the hospital immediately. And I was like, no, she was fine. She was fine when she went to school. I did what she said, and guess what?
Mhm.
Jayla had to
What?
be admitted to the hospital for 10 days based on what the school nurse, this is the school
Wow.
nurse, was able to hear something in her lungs that didn't sound quite right to her when she just came down for her breathing treatment. And as a
Mhm.
result of that, she was able to get what she needed and be back in business and do what she needs to do with this whole lung disease thing that she's been kicking in the head, you know?
Mm. Right.
So, educators and community members, if you all have stories too, put them in the comment section. We're having a conversation today with Lucretia Black, my cousin, who is an educator with her B&B Tutoring services. And we're going to learn a lot about B&B Tutoring services. But right now, we were just hearing the importance of educators and the roles that they play in our young people's lives. Any other comments about that, Lucretia?
I not at the moment. I just think when you take on that position as a educator, I don't think of people think a lot about what goes into it. When you have the children in your classroom, you got to build relationships with them first before you can start to educate them.
Oh,
They want to know that that you care about them,
right.
that you are listening to them, and when you do that, they can so much more past that.
If they believe that you believe in them, then they'll move mountains for you,
Yes.
even, and even move mountains to show that they are grateful that you believed in them enough to not drop the ball in their own lives. I believe that, you know. Wow. Okay, I'm
Hmm.
excited about this
Yes. Hmm.
conversation. And also I wanted to ask you, and when we
Yes.
come back, I'll get the answer. How can parents help their children at home when it comes to preparing them for educational success? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a commercial. Oh, wait. I see comments. Let me see. Sorry, Mackenzie. You're like, girl, you didn't see my comments I put up there. Let's see. That's awesome that she cared so much to just message you. She cared so much just for you. That's amazing. Your teachers cared so much just for you, Lucretia, growing up. That's
Hmm.
one of the
They did.
comments.
They really did. Yeah, I can name out some more educators. Miss Gwendolyn, um, she was my social studies teacher. Miss Tucker was my 12th grade English teacher. My girlfriends, I sat in class and planned our wedding. Who was going? Yes, that we were gonna, and we're still girlfriends today. Bernita is my co-partner with the business, and Kimberly Lee is my friend, best friend, still to this day. So
So even
we have a
friendships,
lot of great
even
stories that
friendships.
happen. The
So
great
even
friend.
friendships back in the day make a difference too.
Yes.
Wow. This is inspiring. So you know all these teachers, your girlfriends that you sat and planned your weddings with back in the day, still your
Yep.
friends today,
Yes.
and you have your family who believed in you at
Mhm.
home, who also poured into
Yes.
you and helped educate you. And same, my mom had friends that gave me, actually, because this is important too, going to school and having
Mhm.
hand-me-downs. For me, that's what the case was in different regards.
Mhm.
But I went to school, not I never realized I was even poor anyway. I never knew that.
No.
I did not, because I had Oscar de la Rente, I had Joy
Mhm.
Dash, but they came from Miss
Yes.
Wilhelmina, and they came from Miss God, I can't, okay. I gotta remember everybody's name, because these people were like really, 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 really helpful and pouring into
Mm.
me and making sure that I had
Yes.
all of these nice clothes, stuff that my
Yep.
mom was just like, what in the world? I would not have been able to dress like that had they not come through and gave me all of these bags of hand-me-down stuff. So I came dressed in style. I was like,
Yes.
Miss Margaret Blackwell. Oh my gosh, she is an educator in her own right, and she gave me gobs of clothes, and I
Mhm.
and I thought I looked good. So you couldn't tell me I wasn't fitting in with what I looked like, even though I didn't have it for real, like at home like that. As far as where we went to these big brand name stores to get it, it was just washed and wore,
Wash.
you know.
Mhm.
Miss Margaret Blackwell, Miss Wilhelmina, they
Mhm.
really poured into me. Name some people, y'all, that you know back in your day that poured into you, that believed in you, and gave you just basic stuff that helped you feel like you could obtain educational success. My grandmother who passed away in her 90s, Mother Thomasina Clark, she would read all my stuff and she would say, Kim, here, this is the speech you're going to say. You say that as the high school senior class president and as the graduation president for James Madison University. She had me read my speech that she wrote. She was like, you get up there and say that. I was like, yes, ma'am. And guess what? I said it. She was a charter member at Bethune-Cookman College, played basketball there in 1940s. And when she told me to write, she wrote something for me and had me say it. I got a standing ovation messing with my grandmother, Mother Thomasina Clark, said, say this. And I said it. So having family that believe in you and pour into you does make a difference.
Yes, it does. Right. My mom, yes.
You go. Tell us.
No, I said my mom, Judith Epps. Yes, big, just seeing how she went through things, and she instilled in me how to navigate and be a strong woman, and to keep God in your life. And so when it comes to our company, that's how we're different. We pray for our children, we pray for our families, we go to events that our students may have. I buy jewelry from them. One of the little girls made make earrings. I can't, whatever they do, we support them because they are our future.
Yes, I love it. Mackenzie, we're going to take a commercial break. Mackenzie, for everybody that's looking and watching today, she's actually backstage helping me. And actually, Mackenzie's actually having a baby girl coming to this world soon. She's already a mom of one, which is little Remy. And now they have a daughter. Her and Trenton are going to be having a daughter coming soon, and just had her baby shower this weekend. She had to get all new stuff, y'all, because now it's a girl. When it's a girl,
right.
Boy, and so y'all definitely keep Mackenzie in prayer backstage. And Mackenzie, we're gonna go ahead and take a commercial break. Now, normally Mackenzie will cut me off and go to the commercial break. I'm talking about her. She ain't went to no commercial break yet. All right, we're gonna be right back, everybody.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter & Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Everybody.
All right, everybody, we are back. Fred over there distracting you. We know that's you, Fred, the husband who's been backstage helping his wife.
Yes, he has.
That's a good thing. Listen, talk to us about the importance of parents when it comes to education for our children's success.
Yeah, so parents, even though the teachers are there to educate your child, but it's so important for you to start at home, to be their advocates. You know how your children learn before they even come to us. So when we have those back to school nights or get to know your children, that's the first piece of paper we give you, because you have so much knowledge about your child. And we want to know, how does Johnny learn at home? What has he already learned? Does he know his name? Are they able to write their name? We get all that information from the parents even before we start the school year. Can't say enough just to read to your children every day. Put a book in their hand. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be a comic book. It could be a newspaper. Now it's digital. They can go to the Amazon and go and get an audio book. And there's so many websites out there, free websites like getepic.com. Students can go on and listen to the books.
Somebody type that, getepic.com, and then definitely Audible. I know instead of my daughter asking for gifts, she'll ask for Audible credits. And she also has hard copies of the books and notepads and journals and things that she captures what she wants to retain from it. But she loves those Audible books as well. And if that's how your child is as an
Mhm.
audible learner, then let them learn
Yes.
that way. Don't be like, well, you ain't reading the book, because you just give them what they need.
Exactly. Yes, give them what they need. Because you might say, well, they're not reading out a comic. Well, comic books is a different way for them to
Yes.
grasp those concepts. And that's what they like. Then let them read those kind of books. They might like mystery. They might like fiction or nonfiction, or the was it Naruto? My
Oh
daughter
yeah, all
loves
of those anime.
animated. Yes,
You
and
said, what is
so
it? Girl, you
but
said, what
yes,
is that? What is that? That's them Dragon Ball Z and all of them people screaming
yes,
in the theater.
yes. And then she's like,
"Ah!"
oh, and so she loved a lot of different books, and so yes, just read to them, get them while you're riding in the car, ask them what color are the trees. Your name started with an M. Do you notice anything about that sign right there? Easy things that you could be doing in the car.
Yes.
At home while you're cooking, hey, I got some white flour here. What I'm going to do? What does flour start with? Just those easy concepts. You don't need to go out and get a book or a tutor for that. That's simple things that you could do at home with your children.
Wait, take a break,
But
because that right there, I want to pause there.
okay.
These tips that she's sharing are some basic skills that get your children's minds stimulated and thinking about what they're seeing, that starts with these alphabets and things. I mean, this is great advice. And every tip that you share so far, I know I personally have done that. We played road games where it's like A for apple, A for AutoZone, B for Burger King. We would do that from A to Z in the car, instead of just getting in the car and being silent. And
Yes.
these are just things that I've done to balance my own life too with my children, but it was educational at the same time.
Yes. Yep.
And that's great advice. Somebody make sure you type in this in the comment section, to do like a road trip A to Z game with your young children, just giving them something to do outside of just having the phones or the electronics. Well, back then we didn't have as many electronics. Right now people
Right.
get in the car and they're like, they just
Right.
zone. They're like, don't talk.
And it's okay. So with technology, put those apps onto their phones. They have abcmouse.com. They have starfall.com. They have readingworks.com. When you go to your app store, all you have to do is type in education. And guess what? All the educational games come up there. Whatever is free, download it to their phones. We know
Say
that's
those one more time too, because I'm sure some of the studio audience members want to type those. You say
so,
the apps are.
The apps are abcmouse.com.
Somebody type that, abcmouse.com.
Starfall.com.
I'll type some too here if I can. ABC Mouse. Okay, abcmouse.com. And then you said Starfall.
Starfall.com.
Okay.
Also, for the older grades, you want to do readworks.org.
Works.org.
Coolmath.com.
Thank you, Freddie. I see you. He becoming the administrative assistant over there. He like, let me get over here on this computer and help my wife out. way to go, Freddie Black. Shout out to her husband.
Shout out to my husband, Freddie Black. Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. He designed our website. I know he doesn't do it, for everyone. He can. He is very talented. But yes, he created our website for us.
B&B Tutoring.
Yes.
.com.
Yes.
All right. Let me pull that up too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at this website. Wait a minute. You gotta take a break when you're talking about Freddie Black's work. Let me go ahead and share. Hold on. Let me share the screen at some point here. This is some good stuff he done did over here on this website. I'll put the website, everybody, in the comments section as well for you all. But let me see if I can pull that up and pull it in for you. Tell me when you can see it right quick. I'm going to pop that on the screen for you. But those are some good websites. I see you, Mom, entering the studio. You said good morning, a beautiful cousin talking to you, Lucretia.
Oh, hey.
All right. Tell me if you can
Aunt
see that.
Eva.
I think you should be able to see that right now. I'm pulling it up. I'm looking to see if I can see it too on this other device.
Yes, yep, I can
All
see
right.
it now.
So this is the website that Freddie Black, who is Lucretia's husband, created for B&B Tutoring Services. So what can people expect when they visit the website, Lucretia?
Yeah, so it tells them about the cost of sessions. Also, we tutor grades K through 12. And
Wait, for
if you,
$35?
yes, ma'am.
Oh my
Now,
gosh, y'all. Screenshot that. $35 for a session of tutoring is unheard of. And you all
mhm,
know that this is globally. No matter where you are in the country,
yes.
you can take
Hmm.
advantage of these B&B tutoring services online. They have tutors online willing to work with you and your students, especially if you're homeschool parents and you're looking
Hmm.
for someone to do something tutoring related for your child on a specific subject matter. Reach out to B&B Tutoring Services. $35 a session. This is
Yes,
epic.
starting at 35 because middle and high school they do go up.
Okay.
Um, but elementary we start at 35, and we also have financial programs for families who may not be able to afford our services. So please do fill out the request a tutor form at the top and put all your information about your child, their grade level, what school they go to, what subjects they need help in. We have our specialty areas: reading, writing, and math. We have test taking strategies and study skills for middle and high school because that gets a little bit more concepts, and they just need to learn how to memorize the facts because they have a lot of facts they have to know for science and social studies. So dates and for different like the American Revolution or science, they got to know those formulas and the chemistry. um, so they need to learn how to
Good.
retain all that information. But request a tutor by clicking on that form and filling out the form, and it comes right to us, and we get back to you within 24 hours. And then we have some testimonials from some previous clients
Wow.
who had we serviced.
This is awesome. And the thing that I think that I'm hearing that I really like, bnbtutoring.com is exactly where you'll go. So thank you so much for popping that up. bnbtutoring.com. You can copy and paste that right from the comment section and put it in your browser, and it will take you directly there. You can request your own tutor and go through the process. It starts at $35 per session and goes up for some of the higher grades depending upon the service package you choose. So you definitely tell them the Kim Jacobs show sent you their way. We don't get
Yes.
kickbacks or anything like that. We just want you to succeed. Okay. I just want you to be happy and have great educators for your children. All right. Let me show some of the people here too. Tell me who these individuals are.
So this is Martina Bullock. She is our administrative secretary. I mean, she wears a lot of hats, but she keeps our business running with our payroll and invoices for our clients. She came on with us just last year, and she hit the ground rolling. We appreciate her, and we're thankful to have her part of our business.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, Martina, for what you're doing with B&B Tutoring.
Here we have Vernita Baskin. She is my co-owner. She's my partner in the business. We started this business because we saw a need for our community. And she is an educator with Chesapeake County Public Schools, and um, she loves educating our youth. She's been a fifth grade teacher for over 25 years.
Wow.
And yes, and she enjoys helping the elderly and spending time with her family
This is good.
and helping those in need. So, Vernita Baskin, thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanita, for co-founding this and y'all having y'all childhood dreams come true.
Yes.
Who is this woman?
Oh, and this is myself, Lucretia Black. I all I can say is that I love what I do.
Clearly.
And at a time when um, there was a time where I didn't think that education was gonna be for me, but I had to sit and talk with the Lord because I knew where I was at. It wasn't the right place for me. When I'm talking about the right place in my mind,
Okay,
um,
so it wasn't that you were in a different job or anything. You're talking
right,
about just within yourself. You had to come
within
to the realization.
myself,
Okay.
that I just thought that no, I can't go back. I can't go back to teaching. This is not it. And God said, Lucretia, this is where you need to be. This is the gift that I gave you. And if you seek me, and I will see you through it. And so I cannot tell you, it was probably, I'm going to say the last week in July, because I had told myself I was not going back to teaching. I was not
So you
going.
you had your own conversation with
I had
yourself,
my own conversation with myself saying I
and you
was
had
not
come to the
going back.
conclusion that
That
I'm done with that.
I'm done with this. I have
Okay.
filled out applications for every other job that you can think of.
Okay.
And those doors were not open.
Interesting.
But God gave me my joy back for teaching.
Mm.
And without a shadow of doubt, I know this is where I am supposed to be.
So no more questions of
No more
God.
questions.
You're
That's
gonna go
right,
ahead and
God.
just walk in your purpose and in your.
That's it.
And
Mhm.
how important is that, Lucretia, to walk in what you really get confirmation that God is telling you to do? And it's outside of just tutoring, and this is just a
Mhm.
life lesson for viewers. How
Yes.
important is that?
It's very important, because you could, like I said, the mind is, you let the devil get in your mind and he will tell you these other things. But when you got God, when you know God and you have a relationship with him, um, and you talk to him, he will always
Always.
always. So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight.
Yes. That y'all know that's one of my favorites, Proverbs 3, 5, and
Oh,
6.
is it?
Oh, that's
Oh
that's
my
it right
goodness.
there. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. And when you
Oh
trust in
my
something with
goodness.
all your heart, you can trust fall in it because you
Right.
believe that he's never gonna let you just fall flat. He got you.
No, he's not. He
Trust with
got you.
all of your heart. That's a free fall
Yeah.
trust. That
Yes.
I'm just leaning in you, Lord. I know
Mm-hmm.
that you got me.
Yes.
No matter
Yes.
what it looks like at that particular moment, you got me. You know?
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's good. I'm glad that you came to that moment in your life where, like Oprah would say, aha moment or whatever. It's that moment, that V8 moment. That's, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
finally got it. Because does that take like a burden off of you or a stressor off of you to know that I don't have to worry about all this other stuff? This is what God has purposed for me to do, and I'm walking
Mm-hmm.
therein. He's ordering my
Yeah.
steps. I'm walking here.
That's it. It really took a burden off of me because I was stressed trying to find another job. You know, oh, I gotta go on these new interviews, but God worked it out, and I am right where I'm supposed to be.
I'm so happy for you, and I'm grateful that you're where you're supposed to be. Now, how can people that are struggling academically get the help that they need? Whether it's, what advice would you give parents or educators? And they're seeing these students, and the children are struggling, some of them, but they don't really know where to begin with even just approaching the situation to help them get the help they need. How do you advise people to deal with that? Is it go to the parents? Is it? go to the guidance counselor? What advice do you give?
So first of all, you do want to start with the child's teacher.
Okay.
Find out what has been going on in class. Um, how has the student been completing their work? Um, how has their test scores been?
Okay.
How can you help them at home? And once you get that feedback from his child's teacher, then you can go from there. If the teacher says, "Well, we've done A through Z," and he's still struggling with this math, these math concepts, then seek out a tutoring service, B&B
Okay.
Tutoring, and we'll be glad to support your children and your family, because that's what we're here for. And if it was something that some underlying issues,
Mhm.
we attend IEP meetings with our clients, because they may not know all the terminology that's been thrown out at you when you're sitting around a table with 7 other people and everybody's giving you the
Right.
bits and pieces going on. So we are there to support you. But yes, definitely seek the teacher first. Find
The-
out from the child what they've been learning in class. Let me see your paperwork. Let
okay.
me see what you've been studying. How can I help you? And you know, do it at home first, and then if you can't help them, then seek out
So
some
the
extra
parent, when
support.
you say seek out, are you saying the parents should seek out the teachers and the educators, or who are you recommend to seek out whom?
So when your child is struggling, yes, I want you to
Okay.
first reach out to the teacher, the
Okay.
parent. Reach out to the teacher. The teacher will then give you some feedback on how your child is doing in class.
Okay.
And then once you talk and figure out, well, let's try this first. Maybe they say, well, he's not doing well with multiplication facts.
Right.
Okay. So the teacher then gives you some strategies. You take that home and start working with your child at home.
Okay.
2 weeks, within 2 weeks, you should see some progress, but maybe you haven't. Go back
Okay.
to the teacher, and then she might say, well, I've done this in class, and you have completed this at home.
Right.
Maybe it's now time to seek out some additional services.
Then that's where tutoring services come
And
in.
that's what tutoring service comes in.
Okay.
Yes.
So do everything you can at home first with the teacher, with as a
Yes.
parent,
As a
implementing some
parent.
things.
Hmm.
Then as a parent and teacher relationship or educator relationship.
Hmm.
Then if you still see this stuff is not happening at the level that it needs to, start pulling in some additional resources and services through the
Yes.
tutoring that you all like yourselves are offering.
Yes.
Okay. That's really good to know. Wow. All right. So we're learning today about B&B tutoring services, and we're going to learn even more about their particular services. When we come back, we're going to take a commercial break. I see comments. Somebody had a question. Why did you want to stop teaching? Did something discourage you? Dr. McBride wants to know that.
Yes, it did. I came from a private school setting into a public school setting.
Okay.
In private school setting, I have the free autonomy to teach my children.
Right.
When I transferred over to the public school setting, it was a change in the whole teaching realm. So I
Interesting.
had to get used to how things were done.
Yeah. You had
That
to be in compliance with the
and
new
be compliant.
rules. Yeah.
So, but when I also talked to the right people,
Mhm.
that helped me see it a little bit different.
And what way was it different? What did they? Because I mean, I want to hear what did they actually say to you that was that determining factor that made you decide, oh, I got it now, and I'm committed to it.
So I'm gonna start with my husband first, because he was like, okay, so I would go home and I would tell him, AYZ was happening. It could be a behavior situation, or it was an
Right.
assessment, or he's like, well, go back to what you used to do. And
Mm, good
and
advice.
so having, that behavior chart up, you know,
Okay.
having the treat box, having those different things that you can see that the children like, even though your other peers may not be doing it in their class, but
Right.
that worked for you, do it, you
So
know.
do what works for you. Somebody type that in the comment section. You have to do what works for you. Go back and pull from your own gifts and talents. That's good. Okay. I think you froze. Oh man. There's some good stuff too. But what we're gonna do is that was a great question. Pastor McBride, thank you so much. And we're gonna take a commercial break and come back. And I'm sure Lucretia, she's out in mountains and all of that. So it's probably a little bit of glitching going on over there. But she enjoys the mountains. We'll talk about that too. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, Mackenzie. Then we'll be right back, everyone, right after this break.
Welcome to Confidence Tones, where we use a proprietary audio development formula called audio immersion to provide an experience that's designed to help quickly and effortlessly generate positive change in the subconscious mind when used correctly. This experience is achieved using 4 primary building blocks: brainwave modulation, invocation of positive emotions, immersive imagination stimuli, and developmental suggestion. We know of no other source in the world that provides the synergistic combination. With a good pair of headphones, you'll be able to immerse yourself into audio that's designed specifically to help you feel better, do better, and live better.
All right, everyone, we are back and we are talking with Lucretia Black today with B&B Tutoring Services. As you can hear the passion that she has pertaining to being an educator, and even got further confirmation from God in her own words to be able to not try to pursue all of these other different ventures, but to really make education her focus. And so I'm excited because I've had the opportunity, especially with her being my cousin, to witness her be able to do exactly what she's talking about doing. And we don't take that for granted. I want to make sure that you know how you can connect with her. She's in the mountains and stuff, so sometimes the reception gets bad. She'll be popping back in. And yeah, I see her communicating. So she's going to pop back in. And as soon as her device is connected, we'll pull her back up. But you can stay connected with her at Lucretia Black, and her information. Oh, and Dr. McBride said, thank you so much for taking her question. But her contact information, while we get prepared to pull her in, and Mackenzie, you can bring her back on stage. Here is bnbtutoring.com. You can also call her at 804-396-4635, or you can email her at L as in Larry Black at bnbtutoring.com. All right. I see you had to go move somewhere. Speaking of your passions and things you enjoy, you're a homebody, but you also like the mountains. Tell us about that right quick.
Yeah, so being out in the mountains started when I was with my family's singing group called the Guiding Lights.
I
So
never gonna forget the Guiding Lights. I love the Guiding Lights.
We are the Guiding Lights. We would take our summer trip as to Shenandoah Valley,
Yes.
which is out in Harrisonburg.
Yep, that's where I went to school, girl. James Madison University. I was a senior.
Yes, AMU. And so it started there, and that was our group's trip every summer. And so, and then it continued when I met my husband and his family. They love traveling. They drove those back roads, and so I'm over here maybe just sitting driving at 55 miles per hour, 45 miles per hour, like, okay, let's get on 95. But I'm glad we took the scenic routes.
Yes.
You get to see a lot when you take those scenic routes. And so
that's good.
Yeah. So I love the mountains, and thankful to be up here in the mountains today.
Yay. And he
Yes,
and your husband right there supporting you the whole way through,
yeah,
and
and my
everything's
mother-in-law. Yes,
and you know
yeah,
what? Tell Fred if he could please email me the picture, even if it's the one you already sent, because it's coming in. It's not coming in as a JPEG. It's coming in as some other format, so I can't access it. So just email me that. Listen, with the resources that you all are offering with B&B Tutoring, if you could tell us, I see here that I have a flyer I want to pop up, which is very helpful. Talk to us about some of the services you're offering and how people can get involved.
So we do have our tutoring services for kindergarten through fifth grade. We also service 6th through 12th grade as needed, but our main focus is our kindergarten through fifth grade students. We're currently looking for sponsors to help families that may not be able to afford our services. And how you can do that, you can make weekly or bi-weekly or monthly payments. You will receive a water bottle and a t-shirt just for sponsoring, sending that donation to sponsor a family. We're asking donations to start at $50 if you can. And also we'll put your name and company's name on our social media, our website page, for to let them know that you were a
That's good.
sponsor. Yes.
That's really good. So the flyer, we have it up here, but I know some of you are audio listeners that's tuning in as well. Where do people go to be able to sponsor a child? What's the website?
So they will actually go to our PayPal, and it's not on this this
Well, just
flyer.
say what it is. PayPal,
Oh,
what is
hold on. It's L Black at bnbtutoring.com. When you put it in the
okay, L
the text
Black. So PayPal is L Black at bnbtutoring.com if you want to donate to sponsor a child's education. They're asking for a minimum of $50 donations, but if you can donate more, I can't see on the flyer. I think it said did it say 250? You can spend $250 to sponsor a child for 10 sessions. So for 10 sessions, if you send $250, that will sponsor one child for 10 full sessions that may not be able to afford the opportunity to have the tutoring services provided through their family's income. So this is great. Thank you. So that information is here. Sponsor a child's education today with B&B Tutoring. We put it in the comment section where you can send your PayPal, L Black at bnbtutoring.com. And don't worry about, it's like, well, if you don't have the amount that they're requesting, send any amount, because then pieced together, it will help a child some kind of way. And you can hear the passion in this woman's voice as to what her and her team are trying to accomplish to help children today. Wow. Okay, I saw more comments come in, and I want to make sure we get the chance to address your comments and questions. Can y'all not get some state funding to have like a grant for low-income children? That's Mackenzie backstage. She's like, can't y'all just get some money from the government? Okay, Mackenzie.
Well, that is a great question. I need a grant writer to help me to help support us in that that venue. If you are a grant writer and you would like to help B&B Tutoring, send us an email, and we'll be glad to work on that.
That's good.
There is a lot of free money out there, but I'm not knowledgeable on how to get grants.
And I think I love the fact, just so you know, Lucretia, I love the fact that you are being transparent enough to say, I don't know that particular area. That's not my area of expertise. My area is tutoring and helping to educate the child. So as people are tuning in today, there are many educators and federal government workers and people that have this knowledge to be able to help secure grant and government funding. If that's you and you feel God is putting it in your spirit to help B&B Tutoring be able to secure some of those funds, reach out to them and let them know how you can assist with their endeavors. to help educate more children globally, not just in Emporia, Virginia, but around the world. So please reach out and help with your area. And then you can talk about whether there's 501c3 status and different things like that, which is what's needed for certain funds. What other advice do you have for parents and educators that are watching today that you want to share?
I guess just to really take your job serious as an educator.
Mhm.
It is a special job, and it's not like your regular 9 to 5 job,
Mm-mm.
because you have to bring things home to complete. You may have to answer an email at home. Some of us may have Class Dojo or the Remind app, and you have a parent who works late, and you might just need to answer that question. It's okay to set those boundaries so parents will know that my office hours are 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. But if
Right.
it's an emergency, I will respond to you. And if not, I'll get back to you the next day. But give some kind of
Parameter.
schedule,
Mhm.
so that the parents will know, um, what's expected, and how they can reach you.
That's
Um, something new that I really enjoy our school doing this at our school is called "Is It Enough?"
Is it
And they
enough?
asked, "Is it enough?" And they asked us to send in a picture
Mm.
or pictures from your classroom.
Okay.
Whatever you are doing in your classroom, is it enough? And I really love that when they shared that with us coming back to school for a teacher work week the week before. Um, that's very powerful right there. Is it enough? So
So
just take your. Hmm?
no, I cut you off. Go.
No, you can go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you were saying, please.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying, just take your job seriously, and continue to educate the whole child, not just because they're coming into your classroom to learn, but they could have came in from a situation that was not great that morning, and you might just need to meet them where they are, so that you can educate them beyond that point.
Wow. I think this is just so enlightening what you're sharing, and it puts it in a different perspective than just when I know when I think of tutoring, I literally just think, okay, when there is a need for the tutoring, that's when I'm going to reach out. If I feel like my child is struggling in a specific subject matter only. But after hearing you talk today, I think some of these tutors, especially through B&B Tutoring, might be like even life coaches and counselors and advisors that can help the child become their best versions of themselves regardless. Academically, spiritually, physically, emotionally, it sounds like you are offering more than just, hey, here's a topic that we're covering in a subject matter. So that's what I kind of gleaned from what you were saying today.
Yes, and I think that was one of your questions. How are we? What makes us different? Or
Yeah,
I
that
forgot what.
was definitely one of the questions I told you I was going to
And
ask you.
that's what makes our company different, because we are educating the child academically, socially, emotionally, and spiritually.
I love that. So that's intentional. That's
That's
intentionally your
intentional.
focus.
Hmm.
Mm. So when they come to you, when a child, because I like to have a visual, I bring my child to you. When they get enrolled with B&B tutoring, what will they walk away with? This is what is going to happen whenever I enroll my child under your services. Tell me.
So they know that the child is going to be educated. They're going to get their concepts and skills taught to them. But we're also going to instill in them character. We're going to build their confidence.
Okay.
We're going to let them know that, hey, it's just not me teaching you. You have to be the one who's putting forth that effort to learn all that you can and do your part. And when you do, things will come not easier, but it will come to you so that you will be able to complete that task.
And how long are the sessions for
The
when a
sessions,
child comes?
so the sessions could be for 30 minutes, especially for kindergartners. 30 minutes is their time span. If I'm doing two subjects for kindergartner, it'll be an hour. So I'll split up reading for 30 minutes, math for 30 minutes.
Okay.
If it's first through fifth, it's normally hour, 1 hour session. But if I'm doing two subjects, and if it's reading and math is going to take an hour, and reading will take about 20 minutes. So an hour, 20 minutes. And so the fees will adjust to the 15-minute half hour session.
Okay. And then what's the duration as far as, is it 6 weeks, 10 weeks? How long is it?
So if I get a student that I see that it's a grade level behind, we have them for a whole year.
Oh, okay. That's important to know.
Yes. If I get a student that hey, they just need practice with reading every day, then I say, well, let's start with 2 months and see how things go, and then we'll adjust accordingly our schedules for that. But the minimum is 10 sessions. 10 sessions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So a minimum of 10 sessions is what is going to be given to the children, and possibly they will get the opportunity to go on this journey for an entire year, the whole school year, if that is the need for you and your child, and it's determined by B&B Tutoring. I love this. Okay, so any other questions out in the studio audience? I want to make sure, I think that you've provided a very clear picture, B&B Tutoring, of how people can connect with you. How I'm trying my best to get this picture. I'm working some serious, you can't imagine over here. Trying my best to get. I think I got what I have, and I'm gonna pop it up so, because I know we're at the end of today's episode. But I have worked. I don't want to say I don't believe in a bunch of magic stuff, but I believe God's gifting in me to figure out how to pop this picture in here. So I'm working on it over here. But in the meantime, let me let you all know you can stay connected, and tell people how they can stay connected with you again. There's the information. And I have a picture, so that's fine. I'll just go with what I have. Tell them how they can stay connected with you.
So you can stay connected with us at www.bnbtutoring.com, filling out that request a tutor form. Also, you can email us at lblack@bnbtutoring.com, or give us a call at 804-396-4635. And we will get back to you within 24 hours.
And that, you can't beat that turnaround either. 24 hours, that's sometimes be a week before folks get back in touch with you. But here in 24 hours or less, you're going to get a communication. And I see a comment as well from my mom. Mackenzie, pop that up for me if you don't mind. And Ella Spradley said, what did my mama say? I can get that comment put up. Let me go over here and see where I can see it. I saw it somewhere. A lot of comments came in. I thank you all so much for being active studio audience participants. I really appreciate it. My mom said, that's a great answer, because you are an intentional person, and you are an intentional person about you and your business, Lucretia. And she says she just absolutely loves it. So she just wanted to compliment you.
Thank you, Aunt Ella.
My mom, if you heard her be typing in her 70s, she on this social media, she like, Lord have mercy. All right. Let me pop these photos up too that I found backstage, and see if you can talk those. Tell us who's on those photos.
So starting to my left would be my mother-in-law, Vera Black.
Hey, Miss Vera.
And my mom, Judith P. Epps. My dad, Robert Kenneth Epps Sr., and the late Reverend Dr. Frederick D.O. Black Sr., and my daughter, Talia, and my husband, Frederick.
Well, there's a better picture of Frederick. He kind of cut off in that photo. I went on the Facebook page and grabbed a few photos.
Okay, yes. Yeah, we were at my brother's house this past Thanksgiving. Oh, yes, having a night out.
Let's y'all let me see that. I don't put something risque. I didn't know that. I couldn't see. Lord,
it's all good. I love to have fun with my man, and so
I ain't see that. I ain't see that good. I ain't have my glasses on. Sorry, Freddie. I didn't know you were grabbing the extra body parts down there. But you know what? It's so important to still be able to have fun with your husband. What a blessing. How long have y'all been married?
We have been married for 23 years, but we've been together. Let him tell it. I think my say 8 years, I believe. It's 31, right? 31 years.
So you gotta grab some kind of body parts in order for y'all to make it that long,
that's
right? And tell us
to my left is my oldest daughter, Tiana. She is a sous chef at the Halfway House restaurant in Chester, Virginia. Okay. And to the right is my youngest daughter, Lucretia Black. She is growing into adulthood and finding out about herself, and she is currently working at the Hibbett Sports Store in Roanoke Rapids, Virginia. Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina.
Yeah, I was gonna say you done went to the other. It's North Carolina.
Yes, North Carolina.
Are there some people not photoed here? Because I'm sure some people not. I didn't see the full family photo, so but there's somebody not photoed. But tell me who.
Oh well, the photo you just showed with my mom and dad and the late Reverend was the photo that you just shared.
Oh, good.
For the family one at the lake, so it was all of us was in that one.
Oh, good. Okay, I was like, Lord, please.
Yeah, so thank you for finding those pictures.
Well, it's my honor, Lucretia, again. Today's episode was sponsored by attorney Charles Everidge with Hunter Everidge Law Firm. If you're dealing with disability claims or you're dealing with the wrongful death of a loved one or any type of workers' compensation claim, make sure you reach out to them. They're in the Carolinas area, they're in the Alabama area, and the Richmond, Virginia area. Phone number is 704-457-5000, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And then also today's episode is sponsored by Dr. Joe D. Bear. drjoed.com. Those are the confidence tones that you saw on the commercial. /confidence-tones. drjoed.com /confidence-tones. So those are two of our episode sponsors today that we want to take time to acknowledge. I do have my son, Ivan Jacobs, who's also one of our episode sponsors today. He went from 300 or so pounds that he just went on a personal weight loss journey and decided that he was going to lose weight the healthy way and do it with just diet and not diet, but proper eating. He said, don't say diet, proper eating habits and proper nutrition and weight loss. So that's his before picture. And this is his after picture. And he is National Association of Sports Medicine certified. And so he actually is National Association of Sports Medicine certified, and you can reach him at majorpt.com. He's a student at UNC Charlotte. Let him know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way. He's taken about 5 clients virtually, and he'll help you develop a meal plan as well that you can have the groceries delivered right to your home. majorpt.com. Ivan Jacobs is one of our episode sponsors today. All right, y'all. Isn't that amazing?
That is. So you can see right there when our young people put their mind to it, they can do anything. That's so right. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Lucretia. Great show. Lady Justine Hilliard said, cousin Jenny, well, I call her Aunt Jenny, but cousin Jenny in Emporia is on as well. She said a great show. She's proud of you.
Oh, thank you, Aunt Jenny.
All right, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. We'll see you tomorrow. We have another great new episode, and it's actually going to be Sam Cooke's legendary singer, Sam Cooke, his son, who he found out he was his son rather recently. Phil Walters Cooke is going to be carrying on the legacy of his father's music And he's going to be right here on the Kim Jacobs Show talking about how he's carrying on the baton from his father, Sam Cooke, legendary Sam Cooke. Son, Phil Walters, will be here on the Kim Jacobs Show tomorrow. So be sure to tune in at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Lucretia.
Thank you.
My cousin, B&B Tutoring Services. Proud moment. Y'all screenshot it. Stay connected. bnbtutoring.com. Go get your ability to pour into, go give, pour into a child's success today. All right. Thank you, Mackenzie, and everybody tuning in. Stay backstage, Lucretia. I'll see you all tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great one. Bye-bye. You can take it away, Mackenzie. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and